guys tell me if I should be talking or not.
I don't know. Show the gut to the side. Look at that thing, man. Like that, to me, looks like a PB. What do you think? That's going over 5. No, it's not 5, but holy crap. Dude. Damn right. That's a 4. Dude. 4 pounder right off the bat. Here we go. Oh my god.
Dude, there is a guy on Instagram.
Dude.
Good job, Andrew.
Look at that. I have big hands. That thing's huge. Girthy. That's triple C thick. We're calling them today, boys.
Good morning.
Andrew.
My bad. My guy.
Is that one of your wicked customs?
Oh, you knocked over my kid's sign and everything. Look at
Oh, sorry.
this.
My
kid's
bad.
Custom-made logo for me.
That's those vape.
What a way to start. Jesus.
Start with a bang.
Literally. Walk in and hear my custom drop shot rod slam into the ground.
Whoops.
Andrew.
That's what
Sorry,
vape
Dad.
Sorry, Dad. All right. How's it going, everyone? Thank you for joining, as always. We are live with Derek, the owner of Beast Coast Fishing. Derek, say hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So, as usual, we're going to do a little recap from the weekend. That'll be pretty quick. And then we're going to get into it. First and foremost, for everybody that's here, if you haven't done it yet, please drop a like on the stream. That helps more than you know. If anybody's willing to go the extra mile to share it, that's also extremely helpful. That's more helpful than anything, but the likes also definitely help. Comments on the videos are hugely helpful. Like, all that just plays into the algorithm, and it just helps us in the end. So, also onto that, I updated the donation goals. So, I can't even read it. $745 out of the $1,200 goal. For those that are willing to donate, you can either do it through here on YouTube if you have your account set up as such, or down in the video description below, you have a link to our PayPal and our Venmo. Literally anything helps. That next goal is to wrap up everything we're doing for the new GoPros in the boat. We've already gone and spent a lot of that money on stuff. Got a handful of the GoPros. We got new cases. I did a ton of testing. I even bought one of those like laser thermometers to test. 4K 120 frames is never going to happen on a GoPro, period. Not for extended filming like I do. But 4K at 60 or 2.7K at 120 frames, we're good.
That would look real good.
Yeah, it's gonna we went ice fishing this past Sunday, and I just looked at the footage, even though I didn't do anything. Looks good.
Really?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Good.
So there's that. So for anybody that does, again, any amount absolutely helps. We greatly appreciate everything you guys do to help support us. With that said, quick recap on the weekend before we dive into everything Beast Coast.
I got a trout next.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I caught a perch about that big.
And then I caught a perch about that big.
Oh wait, we're hiding behind Derek.
Oh,
There we go.
this way.
I
This
caught a
big.
perch about that big.
And I caught one about that big.
Dude,
But
it was bad.
we grinded it out. And at the end of the day, I ended up seeing a mark in like 5. I was fishing in 30 feet of water. 30, 35, I think it was 30 feet. And I saw a mark in 5 feet. And I was like, what the hell? So I reeled my little jig up
What the hell?
into 5 feet. And I look into the hole, and I see this freaking rainbow trout come up out of nowhere and smash my jig, which I thought was really cool. So I threw him back. for giving me a good time. Let me have a good time.
That good juju.
That good juju. Next time I'll catch a bigger one. I'll eat them. So other than that, that's pretty much the recap of the weekend. Didn't really do much this
How
week.
much ice do you guys have up there? Is it thick or is it sketchy?
That spot was about a foot. Actually, the first hole that I put in the ice with my nice Strike Master 8-inch auger, I sent straight into the dirt or rocks. I couldn't
Really?
tell. So it's I need new ones.
That's funny.
They're gone. It usually takes about 6 to 7 seconds to get through, or it probably take about 8 or 9 seconds to get through about a foot of ice. It took me 30 to a minute with like all my body weight on it. Like, yeah, I need new blades bad. I'm an idiot.
Well, then I stopped. Sorry, I'm like trying to post the social as we're doing this. Then I stopped on the way at a little like ice fishing store right here in town. It's a seasonal thing. Like they're an irrigation business during the regular season. But this guy does this on the side for the winter just to give him something to do. And I text him a picture. I'm like, which of these blades do you need? I ended up calling him because he never looks at his phone. I'm like, what do you need? And he's like, it's this size. And I was an idiot and I grabbed the hand auger blades. So
Which were half the price.
Which yeah, they're not. They're not cheap. It was $42 for the cheapest ones.
Yeah. It's like $80 or $90, something like that for the ones I need.
Hey guys,
Donate.
is there a place for like can we hear? I've never used this platform before. Like, can we hear guests or people that are listening? Like, do they have a way to ask questions and stuff, or am I?
The only way we've been able to figure this out because of the way that I use my software here is for you to have your phone open to the stream itself, and then you can, set the chat to live, and you can see people as they're posting comments here, live messages. I forgot actually to change my settings so it's live and not top chat. But otherwise, any questions we have, we always make sure we read them out, so it makes it easier for people when they do call in. Or, again, you can use your phone yourself, whatever is easy for you, buddy.
Well,
I do need to shift you a little bit.
I have to use my Wi-Fi data because here in this building, where the shop is, the service is questionable, and I think my phone's like stealing from the signal. Remember how it like got really slow when
Yeah.
So it's cool. You guys just let me know if there's anything that you want to talk about or see.
We got you. So, real quick, Ben Bradley with a $10 donation. Thank you very much, buddy. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks,
Off to a
dog.
great start, just like that. Ben knows what to do. So yeah, there's your weekend fishing report. We were fishing in southwestern New Hampshire. What do we have again? Like 10 to 12 inches of ice?
It was around 12 inches, yeah.
And it's a fairly big lake, pretty deep, so it takes a while for it to ice over. So for those that are into ice fishing and you've been kind of waiting again, like, is the ice really safe? You're good now. I think pretty much anywhere in New Hampshire, you're good.
Pretty much
Even in
everywhere is pretty good. I mean, we were down in Nashua, which is the border of Mass, and 6 to 7 inches there. So pretty much all in New Hampshire should be safe by now. Should be good to go.
Candlewood,
I think so.
Candlewood's, they're drawing it down extremely late this year, and it's down like 6 feet in 2 days, and even the main bay has ice. It somehow stayed frozen despite that. It's been cold. It's been crazy cold. And then I see next week we got 1 or 2 days that are almost 60.
Wait, for real? I haven't even looked that far.
Yeah, but
Really?
I think that's just like a huge post-front thing. After this like nor'easter blows out of here, it always brings, you know what I mean? I think that's like a tradition. And I think it's going to get cold as hell again.
Yeah.
Well,
seems
you're
how it
also in
goes.
Connecticut. Up here, it's going to be stayed in the tens
Yeah.
the whole time.
Dude, I don't
I'm
know.
bumming.
But
It hasn't been easy. And then like I missed out on 2 weeks of fishing that I should have been able to extend my season as far into the winter this year as I did last year. But my whole family got COVID. So first my kids got whacked by it one weekend, and then I got it the following weekend. And actually, no, even 3 weekends now. Even the weekend before, we had a snowstorm Saturday, and it pretty much hit all of Cape Cod. which is where I would have taken my boat at that point, or Candlewood. I was thinking either one, but that's literally where all the bulk of the snow hit. Saturday night into Sunday. I'm like, there's no way I'm able to launch my boat anywhere. So there goes that. And now it's just friggin' frigid. So everywhere around here is locked up.
I'm just like sick of shoveling snow and salting my stuff. And then you got to repaint the decks and it fucks your car undercarriage up. I'm like, I feel like Tennessee or like one of the Carolinas would be a pretty, I mean, I love the Northeast 8 months out of the year. I guess I should be honest, but every year I get older, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It sucks.
Like, yeah, no, for real.
Everything is annoying to do when it's 0 degrees and there's ice. Everything.
It's funny you say that about like Tennessee area. Like Chattanooga would be a place I would like, that area, maybe not necessarily that city, but that's an area that I have had in the back of my mind. Like wherever I move, and at some point late in my life, I am going to move. It's got to be near mountains still somewhere. I need that terrain, man. Like when I drive north, like if we go fish Squam or like the Lakes region, New Hampshire in general, or a lot of these spots we hit in Vermont, like my whole soul freaking vibrates every time around that corner I see the first mountains. I need it.
I don't think a lot of people get feelings like that regardless. So yeah, it's sick. I hear you though.
It's important to me.
I can't ever be a true snowbird. Like I spent a lot of time in Florida. I actually like used to spearfish in the Florida Keys with a commercial fisherman for like 4 summers. My mom used to live down there. She's now in Delray, and then she has a little place on Candlewood too. So she does the snowbird thing, and it's like I can't be down there. Like it's not that I mind anything in particular. It just I need like woods. I like the seasons. You know, there's no smallmouth as far as I know. Not really down there. I don't think they can handle it anywhere.
No.
And it's just like
I went on some pretty crazy woods when I was down there.
I could do is Tennessee or something like that. But anyways,
yep.
I'm just
Kentucky, Tennessee. I'd be happy with either of those.
Yeah. Well, Kentucky.
No more snow.
Like, what the hell do you do in Kentucky? And that's not even an offensive thing.
Drink whiskey.
Like,
right. No, yeah, there's literally nothing to do except for fish and hunt.
Which actually is kind of all I really like to do. But so I guess Kentucky would be something that I would consider, but I don't know. Anyways, you should tell everybody on here too that they downgraded the snowstorm because I'm sure people are freaking out about that. If they're attending the show or doing stuff this weekend and they live up here.
Yep, I know it's been a big concern for a lot of people. Like Dan Kenny, the owner of the New England Fishing Expo, was talking about it quite a bit today on Facebook. So for anybody that was coming down to the expo this weekend or is kind of hemming and hawing about it with this snowstorm, definitely throws a wrench in the works. But we're literally talking about it for the last 10 minutes leading up to the stream starting. And Derek's on his phone. He's like, oh, dude, they literally just downgraded it. So now it's going to be, right now it looks significantly less. So please, everyone, keep your fingers crossed. Say a little prayer up to the weather gods for us.
Yeah, and check the weather.
He has no idea what's going on.
Don't trust us. Definitely check your own weather resources.
Yeah.
Hit the road on Saturday in a 2-wheel truck. Because we're definitely
doing it anyway.
It doesn't look like it's going to be that crazy 13 inches, 50-mile-an-hour wind. It looks like it's, again, fingers crossed. Like, just want it to, like, stay away for the most part.
Yeah, seriously. But for added incentive, and actually, Derek, I have to talk to you and a bunch of other people too. We are doing the flipping competition at the New England Expo. I reached out to Dan. I was just curious about it because I saw that like his name is primarily on it for running it. I'm like, hey man, if I can help out in any way, because I built the flipping competition boards we used at the New Hampshire Expo 2 years ago for Wicked Custom Rods. And he was like, yeah, actually, do you want to run it? You're gonna run it. I was like, all right. That was literally this morning. Was it this morning? I think it was either yesterday morning or no, it was yesterday morning. And then like today he doubled down. He's like, yeah, dude. So I got a room for you if you want to do it, or you can do the hog trough, like the whole 9 yards. So for anybody, it's Saturday at 6:00 and then Sunday at 11:30 in the morning. So depending on how foot traffic goes for Saturday, this is what I'm thinking. We may shift the bulk of that tournament, if you will, to Sunday. And one of the biggest things I heard that was,
didn't we?
Well, they had both days anyway, but I think like the bulk of it was supposed to be on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because that's usually when there's like the most foot traffic. But with the storm kind of throwing a little bit of a wrench in the works, I kind of want to shift the bulk of it to Sunday because then I feel like it's going to work out better for everyone anyway. with that, I'm trying to put together some prize packs. There is a trophy for whoever wins it. And one of the biggest complaints I heard was that like people just walking in, right? You know, like your average angler or you better than average angler that wanted to go and compete against it were like not happy that a lot of guys from the vendors were competing as well. Because those guys were like practicing on those boards all weekend. So you get a really good angler anyway. Great accuracy. And then he's been hammering away at that board for basically 16 hours.
It's like fishing a tournament on Winnie.
Yeah. So it's I want to separate it and make sure that like, it's kind of even playing field. So like, you know, like there's probably going to be tons of people that come down there that haven't even like flipped or pitched any sort of jig or whatever, right?
2 tiers of it. They should do like a beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Right. Well, and then the other thing that, you know, talking with John about it, one of the things I would love to be able to do, John's idea was just have a rolling scoreboard for the whole weekend, right? Like not set up any specific times for anybody. Just like I'll keep a spreadsheet, like, and it, you know, you go over there, kind of finagle with it, get comfortable, and then you'll be like, okay, dude, I'm ready. Like, let time me, and
then
the highest score for the weekend.
Down though, like, are you just gonna be sitting there all weekend in like a chair?
Well, that's the hard part. I mean, I'll be floating around, so if somebody really wants to do it, because I don't think it's gonna be like hundreds of people that are interested, but I could see like several dozen.
I don't know. It got pretty heated last year.
Right.
Or 2 years ago.
I don't know. I got to figure this all out. Tomorrow is the day I'm going to sit down because I'm not going to have any time tonight. My wife's car failed inspection today because we needed tires. We knew that was going to happen anyway. So I got to do tire research tonight for that and then get to sleep because I've only got like 3 hours of sleep the last 2 nights.
Yeah, geez.
But then tomorrow, I'm going to hash this all out. I'll get it figured out. I'm going to make it awesome. And then what I want to try and do is pull in a prize pack from as many vendors from the show as well. It's going to sweeten the pot. Not only for the actual like competition itself, like Saturday and Sunday, but have something like rolling from the whole weekend. You know, again, like anytime you dip in, other than Friday, because unfortunately I'm not there, so I can't run that. But someone wants to roll in Saturday or Sunday, I'd be like, you know what, screw it, man. I want to give it a shot. Then have at it. And you've had the highest score at the end of the weekend, I'll give you a buzz. I'll get your contact information when you do it, the whole 9 yards. What the hell are you laughing at?
Oh.
Who?
Sean and Alex.
And you...
What's flipping? It's a fly fishing technique.
Oh, I still got that COVID cough.
That's good.
Oh, I hate that I
quick,
can't see any of the listeners' comments.
Yeah, it's good. Right now, it's just a couple of our buddies talking a lot of shit, and then Dan in there saying Beast Coast has incredible products. We can rotate different men in the room. There we go. All right, I will figure it all out Thursday, Dan, and we'll get it sorted. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. The other thing, if there are people that like really want to take this serious, bring your own rods.
Yeah,
like I'll make sure I gotta figure out a way that we have rods on hand for people to use. I don't know. I gotta figure this all out tomorrow. But if you want to bring your own rod, like actually like go at this, dude, by all means do it. Like I encourage it. It's so much fun. Andrew and I
might hop on. I might do it.
I think we should do like a vendors only one, like after hours or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But like Andrew and I did it just as like we weren't really working that last expo we did, right? 2 years
just
ago.
kind of there the whole weekend, hanging out.
And like that first round happened, friggin' Steve Kennedy and Paul Elias, like 2 well-seasoned pros.
I got friggin' put up against Steve Kennedy. I'm like, what the
Yeah, but you beat him.
Yeah, I know.
That was wild. we beat Steve Kennedy.
He's like, I don't like this rod.
In the first
round.
round.
The rod, pal.
Yeah, but then Steve Kennedy came back with a vengeance and wrecked everybody.
Yeah, he did. The next day, he just smoked everybody.
Dan probably told him to take it easy at first.
Did he?
Probably.
I don't know. I think like whatever Steve was doing was like legit, because I remember like after the first round he stepped down off the platform and you could literally see him shaking. He's like, I don't know why. I've never been so nervous before in my life, but that was nerve-wracking.
He's such a cool guy. I think he's one of the
wicked
coolest
nice dude.
People. He just seems so genuine. Even if he doesn't like me, I liked him a lot. He was like one of the nicest people. Just, and his wife was just chill. They just seemed like good, down to earth people. Despite how, he's like super smart dude too.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Yeah, he's a wicked
you
nice
don't
dude.
get any of that. He was just through and through a good guy.
Yep. Dan in the comments just asked, how about Zell Rowland? I saw him when we were at the bar, and I'll save that story for another time, but I remember, like, do you remember the situation at the bar that night?
I remember some of it. I remember a lot of laughing. And Travis Manson making me laugh a lot.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
he's a wild child.
that guy is such a goof. I love him.
Oh, he's funny.
But I didn't get a chance to talk to Zell, unfortunately. Like, I was really looking forward to it because I was a guy like.
By the way, Travis
that.
isn't a goof. I shouldn't say. I want to cover my tracks. I don't actually think he's. I think he's a goof when you're having beers with him. That's all.
Yes, he is.
Or standing on the balcony of your hotel room. That was fun.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Dan again in the chat.
It was so fun. Like I always tell Dan, like I treat this show like a little like vacation, especially now that I have a 3-year-old that's been waking me up like at 2 a.m. every night.
Oh God.
For the past 4 nights.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm like definitely interested in the pool situation and like the bar.
We're going hot tubbing, dude. We're doing it.
Yeah.
I gotta go find a
Yeah,
bathing
and
suit.
the
I'll
hot, they
just
better
go
gotta have
naked,
a hot
whatever.
tubs in Massachusetts. And then hopefully Jay and
Exactly.
Jay come ready to work so they can just, they can do all the work and then I can just kind of chill and talk to people and have myself a
Okay,
nice...
we both know that's a damn lie.
Dude, you were making jigs
Jay and Jay are
super hungover the next morning, like poking your head under. How many people are out here? I gotta make more jigs. There's no more.
Right. Jay, like Gentile was walking around. He's like handling it. The stage is hanging back, pounding Bud Lights. He's like, "Yeah, you're good, Jay. I'll be. Just let me know if you need help."
Yeah, well, that was about survival. The show itself, that show is so busy. This show, we get so busy, and it's like you have to take a breather. It's crazy, You get those waves of human beings, and you want to talk to all of them because you get to talk and like your products. So it's awesome, but all of a sudden, like an hour passes, lips are like stuck to your tongue. You haven't had anything to drink. You haven't had anything to eat. So yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we're you got to make an essential beer run and water run.
Yep.
At
No,
least
seriously,
once every
man.
2 hours.
Yep. So there you go. There's the New England Fishing Expo coming up this weekend in Boxborough, Mass. That's what you get to look forward to. It's honestly, it really is awesome. There's a reason why we're going like for several years.
It's a party.
It is. It's a ton of fun.
With a bunch of fishing stuff. All people just like you and me and Sean and Derek and everybody.
Right. It's literally a room full of hundreds of people, all with the same passion as what we all do for fishing, right? Like you're literally surrounded by people who all cut from the same cloth.
It's fun.
And
They're all there for the same reasons.
What I really like about this show is, again, and I'm not like, there's no reason for me to promote the show, but we're here talking. I'm here. I'm like taking a break, so I'm happy. But the thing I like about this show is it seems like the percentage of people that like know the product, like know what they're doing. Like, I guess I like the show because there's so many of like East Coast customer and they like, you can talk serious fishing within the region. So that's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how could you not want to do that? You know what I mean? It gets to be
Oh, yeah,
fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like other shows that I've been to, like regional shows, it's just not quite like that. I don't know. The show just has a good vibe. And not for nothing.
It's New England.
Aka is Mike at Bullshad's. You said Bullshad's going to be there this year again, right? And so we'll.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll. Not Sly. We were just talking about his baits.
Oh, Piz.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be there this year.
Oh, yeah. I see he posted a story to his Instagram earlier today. He was getting on the plane at Southwest. He's on his way.
Cool.
I think he said 135 pounds worth of baits, too.
Oh, my God.
So that's like, what, 130 baits? Well,
yeah, and it's like $100,000.
That's crazy, though, man. That's crazy that those guys have such a following, within the swim bait community and like fishing community at large, that they bring like all their work, because it is work. It's different than what Beast Coast does. Like, let's face it, these guys are one at a time, like true, they're crafters. And so for them to pick all their shit up and come all the way across the country, like for a show is like, that's pretty cool. That definitely shows you the type of audience that like this show has, just to kind of go back. It's cool. But anyways, I totally digress.
No, it's good. It's, you know what, man, it's natural for the conversation. So, again, for everybody that's interested in coming down to the show, I really highly recommend it. It is an absolute blast. There's a ton of great vendors that are going to be there this weekend. you can get your hands on a ton, and I mean a ton of
ton.
great traditional tackle. If you're there for the big swim baits, you're gonna have tons of options. Not just like, the nationally known guys, but some like really, really good like regional guys, like Real Prey Swim Baits is a guy I have a couple baits from.
See how he's gonna
Amazing stuff. He's
Oh, is
local.
Real Prey
You
gonna
got
be
Sherpa.
there?
Yep, Real Prey. You got Sherpa. You got Lanciotti. Like, these are all guys that are from
Yeah,
Massachusetts area.
wow,
So it's like,
that's darn.
yeah, dude, it's awesome. Like, I mean, you literally have the whole country covered from both traditional and, like big boy swim bait side of things.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good.
No.
Ooh, there we go. Real quick before we
rat.
like dive into it deep.
Yeah, go.
New Hampshire Fishing Gal asked you a question. Will you have any show deals going on?
Yeah, so I wish that I could lift up my like planted desktop here and show you what we've got. So the reality is we are definitely, I would say like every item is basically kind of going to be, I would say 10 to probably 13% off of what you would normally pay. And truth be told, that's for two reasons. Firstly, because it's nice to do stuff like that at the show. Secondly, like nobody wants to add like $569 plus $628. So like,
Right.
yeah. So the answer to her question is yeah, we should. And more importantly, I'm honestly like stoked to show you guys all the new stuff, which has been coming in for the past 2 days. Like my whole life has just been screaming at freight brokers and trying to get stuff released and like, it's just, get it delivered, checked in. It's been like insane. But for those of, you guys that are here, like definitely we'll have some deals and have a lot of the new stuff presented. That'll be exciting in itself. Because
absolutely.
in the past, we have not done it. Honestly, it's my fault in the past. I have not done the best job of prep, and that's mostly been because things are like insane right now. Like if you're in the industry, which as tiny as Beast Coast is, like we are in the industry. So like the cycle is such that like it's just so freaking busy right now that I love the show and I look forward to it. And I think I trick myself into thinking that it's fun. Like I don't really have to work a ton ahead of the show to get ready for it.
Did you?
And
You're funny. And then you get there, you're like, shit.
yeah,
I am working
like,
hard.
a day before the show, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is. And J&J, like I think the past 2 years, they've literally come over to the shop or my house, and we've just like built product. This year is very different. We've got a full-time employee and a contractor for a lot of the packaging work, so it's made things very easy. But anyways,
Nice.
Long answer. Sorry.
No, it's good. The other question, and correct me if I'm wrong, Derek, because you would know better, and I'm sure it's a case-by-case basis, but Cam Yates asked, do I need to bring cash or can I bring a credit card? And my answer would be both. I believe most vendors, the majority of them, have the ability to take credit card payments, but not all.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
but like,
I would be shocked if. Yeah, I would. I mean, Dan would honestly. Dan wouldn't know the answer to that, but he'd probably be able to get a better bead. But from what I've seen, it's like 80% of the vendors have accepted credit card. I don't know. Maybe
Nice.
that sounds high, but maybe bring some cash. But generally, you're safe with credit card. I think the show we take credit card, but that's just us. And I'm sure all the retailers there will take credit, like MGC, they'll take credit card. I mean, it's so easy to get like a square chip these days that
Yeah, the last time we went, was it 2 years ago now, the last expo, I think I brought a bunch of cash.
and it was
They got
gone like
ATM.
that.
It was gone.
It's
like,
just
shit.
fuck.
well,
Right?
it
You're
is
like,
easier
Rod's
to deal
real
with
swim baits.
cash, and everybody likes
Uh,
that.
right, yeah. It
Cash
works.
is always nice. They have ATMs there too, set up all over the place. So
Oh, good point. I did forget about that.
Mhm.
You guys got options. Either way, you're going to be fine. Saunch B's crew just chimed in. He had no problem with credit card last show, and cash came in quicker, though. Absolutely.
Right.
So be flexible in what you want to do. Pretty much all like don't worry about it. Just bring whatever you're most comfortable with. You're going to be covered.
Answer. He'll be fine with whatever. Like the show's very accommodating.
Yep. All right. It's 8:30. We've barely even talked about you. So let's dive into it at this point.
That's
Right.
totally
So-
fine with me, by the way. Like I don't need to talk about
No, it's good, but you know, it's. I'm trying to be cognizant of the fact that you're a very busy man, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I was thinking this was going to be somewhere closer to the hour an hour and a half range, but as always, we just kind of go with the flow and let things happen naturally.
Yeah.
But with that said, we've been at this for half an hour. We're here to interview you, man. We want to talk about Beast Coast fishing as a whole. So, start with you, like a proper introduction of you, your history as an angler, and then we'll roll that into how Beast Coast came to be, and then from there we'll start talking about products. So,
Derek, who
without
are
further
you?
ado, yeah, Derek, who are
Yeah,
you? I need
yeah.
like a
Derek.
hype. I want to sit back like, Derek, who are you?
Who are you, Derek? Talk now. Just kidding.
Where's my notepad?
So honestly, like my history as an actor is not like I don't come from like a generational. I mean, part of my family's always been like a hard fishing family. I spent time like I've been saltwater fishing since I was like 9. I've done honestly, yeah, like I'm pretty obsessive about it since I was super young. As a bass fisherman, I'm just a hardcore bass fisherman. I like to catch big fish. Like I fish, but you know, I don't. I'm not like Dobbins. You know, like I don't. I'm not a huge money winner. I just love to fish and love chasing big ones. And you know, it's more about that experience for me from the fishing side. But again, like I always say too, it's like I have plenty of people that I know that, you know, they're kind of like Beast Coast's fingers into the tournament fishing scene here regionally. So that's kind of the deal with me and fishing. But yeah, like I worked for a big corporation for a while and just didn't like it. And I did it for like 6 years of my life. By the way, you guys are like chuckling while I'm trying to answer.
Sorry.
I got your message.
Like, what do you want me to do here?
Sorry. I'm really good at like multitasking. I'm really good at listening to our guests at the same time as like multitasking my phone, like make sure like check messages and stuff. I'm like, the hell's blowing up my phone? I check everything, then I go to Discord. I got your message.
I'm kidding, by the way. I'm totally kidding. But anyways, because I want to talk about like the new stuff. But so honestly, that's kind of like my background with as far as fishing goes. But you know, as far as the job and the industry, I work kind of in a parallel position in a very different industry for a big company, and I just was like totally unhappy with it and what it provided. And so I was like, you know what, you know, fuck it, if you will. And I just kind of took my savings, and you know, we were in a decent position to do it, wife and I. So you know, fortunately, I was able to kind of take the leap. And honestly, it's been slow going, but that's because I don't have investors. You know, I bootstrapped everything pretty much, which is, you know, I define that as you sacrifice business growth, your paycheck, and
Yeah, but you're doing it all
your
yourself.
sanity. You know, but it's awesome because 5 years later, you know, the business definitely, you know, it's doing great, and it's finally at a point where it can kind of sustain itself. So I think we'll be able to release a whole lot of new stuff in much faster succession, like moving forward, which is super exciting for me because that's like the most exciting part of it, like making the stuff, or I should say having it made, and kind of the design aspect, you know, why the products fish differently. So I like to work on new stuff, but I just, you know, the free cash flow and the time are just in such short supply. But now that's kind of easing a little. So I'm actually really excited next year or 2 years.
Oh yes.
Hopefully cycle out this 10 different CAD drawings that are already like finalized. Now I just have to find like the time, the money, and the priority of like what to do first. So that's kind of like how I got here and where the business is as far as like the position of the business. So hopefully that answers all that boring shit.
No, dude, it's not though. Like,
That's what
I
people
think if
want
you
to
were
know.
talking to anything other than an angler, they might, yeah, okay, maybe they might think it's more. For everybody here, like, they're absolutely interested in that. And especially for me, for everything about my background, like, you know me, like, I'm a mechanical engineer, I've been engineering manager, now I'm a business development manager, and I've worked that whole corporation life, my whole professional career. So, like, I get that from every angle, especially everything we're trying to do here now with this. So, like, and especially everybody else that's watching, like, that shit's, like, really, really intriguing to people. But now I'm going to grill you because I've got some, like, some statistical questions for you per se. So, like rough estimate, what best guess off the top of your head if you don't happen to know the exact numbers, but I am curious, when you started out with this, like year over year, what has been your average growth, and has it been like pretty consistent year to year, or has it started to kind of do a little bit of hockey stick where like maybe the last year it's like spiked more than the previous like 2-3 years?
Yeah, that's definitely what has happened. But a lot of that has to do with, kind of figuring out the sweet spot, I guess, is such a generic thing to say, but that is what's kind of happened. And on top of that, there's been other things like just natural sacrifice. I sacrificed a lot of paychecks 5 years, which is fine because I don't mind going to work most days, although the last week has sucked. But that's not that's because every freight forwarder or delivery person in the late, so it's been stressful. But anyways, I would say things are on like the strongest trajectory. Like right now, and I'm not bragging because honestly, I need to figure out all this shit. Like I'm still figuring things out on the fly, but like right now, I'm just trying to figure out how I can spend enough money to get enough product here just to handle the orders that are in, for, the next foreseeable couple of weeks, which is great. I think a lot of big brands used to be in that position, but for a small brand, like you need that, like you need orders just because that's cash flow that's coming in and you can factor them if you need them. You can, like the business side of this is something I truly feel like I, grinded it out the past 5 years. And maybe there's probably an easy gone, maybe reached out to family, but I don't know. I feel like my family's helped me enough. I just, and I involve family in certain deals, as far as the business goes and funding certain things. But, large in part, it's been just putting everything back in. That's just how it's been. So, yeah,
That's literally how we're living the channel.
Literally doing the same thing. Yeah.
How much have I paid you?
0.
How much have I taken for myself?
0.
Bingo. I have literally reinvested every single penny that we have made from this back into what we're
We
doing.
make our money by our jobs.
Yep.
yeah.
For now.
Well, honestly, that's a good.
Bird,
Like for you guys, like that's such a competitive space, and like the thing with media that always has annoyed the shit out of me. You ultimately cater to the gods behind the technology. So you guys could be making content a certain way. Like you're in a position to kind of just do you because you have an income. And if people like it enough, then it will grow organically. And that's always how they're successful. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to try to play games and do gummy worm challenges, so that you have.
I like gummies.
Thumbnails. Like I just can't stand that, and you see a lot of it now. And so it's, I honestly feel like people like you guys that are in the media scene and you're taking your time with it, but still doing it right, eventually, even if it takes you 10 years, it's just going to get to a point where, I feel like you guys are going to be owning, some little niche within the hard, Northeast bass fishing scene. And by the way, that little niche might be like 100,000 people. So it's not little.
right. I mean, and yeah, that's the thing. I mean, look at Charlie Moore. And I'm before I go any further, I'm not saying this in a bad way. I've talked to him quite a bit on Twitter. We're friends on there. It's kind of wild. But I mean, like he literally is like just New England. And look at how much of a living and career he's made out of just being in New England. Like it's a great scene. Like even if we never got our reach beyond that, that's fine.
Dude,
there's enough here.
There is.
I mean, New England is crazy for that type of stuff.
It is. And
everyone in New England loves something so much. They're so passionate about it.
Yeah.
You go any other part of the country, there people are just like fishing. Yeah, I've been a couple times.
Right, and it's crazy how. And Derek, you must see it too. I'm sure you're probably. Well, I'd like to think you have the metrics based on like to kind of show where the bulk of your orders come from. But like, I remember talking to Mike Bucca at the expo 2 years ago, and he said like New England itself is huge for his business.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. Like how many people in New England are in the Northeast in general, not just New England, because now we say New England, we exclude New York, but the Northeast in general, like it's crazy how many people are already here to support this and everything.
Yeah, no.
I gotta slow down on that beer.
Hmm?
I gotta slow down on this beer.
Oh.
You want this one?
We came prepared. Yeah, open up.
Hold on. I've got a mini fridge next to my desk. Give me a second.
Get it.
Stony baloney.
Oh.
Stony
Love
baloney. What does that song I always sing to you when I say that about you? There's a song that I sing that to, that the tone, for the life of me, I can't remember. Not off the top of my head right now.
I'm beer.
Oh, wait.
Is that Mario?
But we can continue.
His name is Stony.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did a baloney.
Stony
The cha-cha
baloney.
dance song. What about this? Oh, I'm such a dad. Shit. Anyway.
So go ahead. You continue asking questions unless you just want to sit back and cackle.
How old are you?
Giggle.
I've got 1,000 questions, but no, seriously, go ahead. If
No,
you have any questions
I-
you had lined up, do it now, man. Jump in.
I'm good.
Yeah, you guys can ask me questions. Like I'll
For now.
Like if you want to ask business-related questions, go for it. But I'd rather talk
yeah.
about baits.
I know.
Well, then that's the plan. And I've got literally every question I can think of lined up, but I need Andrew to ask. A
I
question.
know.
Andrew, ask me a question.
What kind of questions do you want me to ask them?
So the question I was gonna lead into, but
I'm so bad at asking people questions like, "Hey, how are you?"
It's
tell you what,
just
I'll
me.
lead you off, buddy, and you can take the next one. So
Just me.
I'm curious, what bait really got you off the ground? Like I'm sure you started with a couple, because in all fairness, I cannot remember like the beginning of the history of Beast Coast.
Yeah.
You know me, man. Like I didn't
No.
find you until my buddy DJ told me about you back in 2017.
Yeah.
But ever since I found you, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude, I need to be in on this. Like, and I've literally never stopped using your drop shot, like the Magic Flicks,
Yeah.
since DJ put me onto them
So
in the fall of 2017, I think it was. And then I
Yeah.
fished with you guys up in New Hampshire in the spring of 2018. We've been here ever since. But what got it started?
well, Beast Coast started as like direct importer of terminal tackle. Like we still have the best tungsten prices. Yes, I know we're often out of stock on certain things. That's partially supply, partially, the world that we unfortunately kind of have to deal with now. But that's how we started. And then the natural extension was just to get building jigs and tungsten jigs and tungsten compound. And so kind of really quickly, it went from one product type to several product types. And honestly, like I think that's a big misconception is, does every little business have a home run? Now I would say there's one or two items that are like just really just hard for us to keep in stock. But back then everything just kind of sold like at a nice even clip and the feedback was good. And so like the natural progression was such that you get enough distribution and people like the product enough, think the brand's cool enough, reason they have to, things just kind of maintain or grow. So like the baseline was always growing for every item. We're still so like the business is tiny, man. It's like,
I mean, you're
there's
growing
so
now.
much
Like
room
you're a
to
lot
grow.
bigger. You're 10, 100 times, 1,000 times bigger than you were when you first started.
Oh yeah. Like the revenue is like, I think 20. This year it'll be 20 times what it was
Jesus.
the year it started. But don't let that number. That the business is, small. So,
Business is business.
but seriously, like the first year, I started 6 months into the year with a low dollar volume product and was kind of transitioning into doing it. So first year revenue is not an impressive number. Yeah, it's definitely much bigger. So, but anyways,
I mean, when did you really start diving deep into the whole jig game with like the Hustler and the open water sniper, like actually like testing out different styles of the baits,
honestly, the
like
best
of jigs?
thing, yeah, the best possible thing. Like this is why I think the industry's cool because like so much of the good ideas, like even the big ideas, Chatterbait. I don't know, like name any big name product out there. They literally started in people's garage. Like they weren't produced
Right.
by big manufacturers. Like the ideas came from people hard anglers like literally at the ground level. And then they were
Right.
later acquired or streamlined or commercialized by big brands or stolen or rented or whatever negotiations were. Like they all like, so you can get the best idea. Local people that are hammers, they're always fishing. They have a certain way that they like to fish, and there's just not something quite right enough. And like that's where like a lot of the new stuff, and that's honestly been that's just how I'm gonna roll moving forward because it's the best thing you can do is to just listen.
Right.
And obviously we spend as much time with the products as you can. But yeah, mostly dude, just listening to people and oh yeah, this would be better with that little simple change. Like stuff like that has seemed to kind of, or taking elements from a lot of different and making them into like the magic flavor. Like that underfin.
I mean, that is literally just like the best drop shot bait you can get.
Dude,
Not
I know.
just drop shot, but yes, you're absolutely right
But-
for drop shot.
but
It
for
does
drop
not
shot, it's
get
amazing.
any better.
I mean, you can do it. You can use it so many different ways.
For the record, I outfished a guy that is 17 years of experience in the St. Lawrence River fishing the max scent flatworm with this, literally this, and the goby. But this and the goby color, I outfished him.
No, but dude, but so like
Take that,
magic,
TJ.
like it's actually a combination of baits with my own kind of touch on it, and obviously I think like the hourglass profile while you top, that was like extremely important because that's what allows it. If you're just like if it's dead stick, like it'll just sit there and it wants to flex because
Right.
you've got basically
got that
a
little
crease, a thin section in the middle, so it's the weight distribution makes it kind of like zigzag almost.
Seriously,
So,
just
like,
a good.
just
It's just a
basically
good
combining
bait.
and trying to understand like how you can make just to make something better and get more bites. And so that's honestly where it starts. And it's just, hey, this thing's pretty good, but like we need. So yeah, that's a lot of it, to be honest.
Sorry,
What was the
I
last
got
question you
distracted.
asked him?
just
Hey,
How we
let's
started.
talk about baits.
just jigs, baits, everything. We want to know everything. Everybody here
I
is
would
always
wanna show
talking
guys
you up.
the new stuff.
I would love to see the new stuff.
Screw it. Let's dive into it. Because I do want to cover like a lot of the history
actually, it's only
of you, like your standard stuff, but I want to see the new stuff myself. Forget everything else, everybody else.
Sean,
Hey, he hasn't
no,
even showed us
seriously,
the stuff yet before
it's
even the
only
stream
8:45,
even started.
So if you want to shoot a couple questions over, like do it, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to short there.
No. Like I have no structure. I fly by the seat of my pants for like 90% of these shows, but I say that like I don't know what I'm doing. At this point, I'm pretty confident I know what I'm doing. Like I feel like I keep between the two of us, we keep a pretty good structure and a flow going to it. So I try to just let the natural flow of the conversation go and dictate it from there. But you brought it up. I'm too excited. I want to see more of these in person. The pictures you take for everything you do for Instagram, by the way, like all your social media, are fucking top notch.
That's
And
so
I have to
funny.
ask because I keep forgetting to ask, who takes them? Is it you or do you hire somebody else to do it?
No, like sometimes if there's like an actual edit involved, like, and I'm usable like as far as Photoshop goes, but like most of the time it's just Noah or myself. But it's not hard to do these days. Like the technology is out there. Like, cameras are phenomenal. Editing software is phenomenal. Stuff's all really cheap and accessible. You can buy light screens and boxes. Like there's just ways to. It's a good time to kind of start a business in that regard, to be honest, because there's a lot of things you can do yourself. People don't necessarily. But anyways,
Got to be a little creative sometimes.
yeah.
I mean, all our fishing pictures. I mean, half the time we're just like, the lighting's not right. Retake it. I'm like, sorry, fish, you're gonna be here for a
Yeah.
while.
No, but we're pretty good at it now, though. You
Yeah,
know what I
pretty
mean? Like,
quick. Lighting, turn
Andrew's
around, boom.
10 times better than I am, but even still, like, we're pretty good at it. It's just one of those, you do it 1,000 times, you just get a lot faster at it. You already know, like, fish comes out of the water, like, as I'm netting it, if I know it's a good fish for him, I'm already thinking, like, okay, where in relation to the sun? Because I know I want to get a picture of this.
That's
And, like,
great.
as he's unbuttoning it, I'm already shifting the boat to make sure the lighting is good. to just, and it's 10 times more for making sure the fish is out of the water for as least as possible than it is, let's get the sickest picture we can get.
Yeah.
But because we put all that into consideration while we're out there, we've been doing that over a couple of years, it just,
That's
second
funny
nature.
that
We
you
get that
guys
shit done
actually
fast.
have all that rolling around in the back of your heads.
Dude, it's like we catch a fish. It's like instantly, as soon as we get on the boat, it's like, all right, we need to take a picture. We got to get a weight and we got to get it back.
Yeah, we've done it so many times. It's literally muscle memory. It's not even like we're stopped to think about it. We're just going.
Boom,
It's
boom,
just
boom,
part
next.
of the regular motions of what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It goes
even
along
like
with talking
that,
about everything we do.
even like how you were describing, like if you see Andrew fish, you just know that on the job. Like you got to get the net.
I mean, if you're not behind me yelling at me.
Me?
No, him.
Dude,
if
like
I
he
hook a
set
big
the hook
one,
into that stump.
like, you better get your shit out of the way. I don't think about anything. I just go. I stomp. I move.
Dude, that was so. What the fuck?
Dude, oh my god, that was the funniest day when the three of us fished together on Candlewood. Do you remember when he set into that stump when we were fishing that one deep spot?
Yeah.
I
man.
still watch that video once in a while. And your laugh fucking kills me, dude. Every time you're like, that was the greatest hook set ever. And Andrew's sitting there like still stuck, like mean mugging you.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was cool. I honestly don't love winter fishing. Mostly because it's just like the cyclical, like, it's winter. Meanwhile, if it's spring, dude, I'll go out. I mean, I cherry pick days as much as possible. But like if it's good and it's like a front's coming, I'll go out there in spring. But something about it like being winter and like, I don't know. Fish always like when I like to go out, like when they're stacked up and stuff. So it's just I just don't do it a lot in the winter. I'm embarrassed to say. But then when spring and summer rolls around, like every excuse I can find to get out of the shop.
No, it's when it's easy. I like to go out. You're fair weather
Yeah.
fisherman. I see.
Dude, if I had more
Shit
time,
talking our
Derek
sponsor.
from
Come
Beast Coast.
on.
I'm just kidding.
hey, I am not ashamed at all to say.
I'm
that I'd
just
rather go
kidding.
out. By the way, dude, come on down. Let's fish on Candlewood in the pre-spawn, dude. It's not always easy.
He's gonna smack your ass around with that jerkbait.
I
And
bet
I
he
can say that
will.
confidently because I experienced it
I
firsthand.
bet he will.
I went down there, and by no
Look at
means
you.
when I was like driving down the whole, 190 miles. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kick Derek's ass. No, like I was excited because I'm going to fish for Candlewood. And I'm going to fish with Derek at Beast Coast. Like hell yeah! And I'm like the whole drive, I'm thinking like, God, I hope I at least stand toe to toe. I don't feel like a complete. Like I don't want to look like I'm a fucking clown, right?
Get
like
back in
roll
the
up
truck at
and,
the end of the day. I felt like an idiot.
Stop.
right? Like 8 hours later, Derek's looking at me like, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what the shit he's doing. But I just was like, as long as I hold my own, I go down there and he's fucking killing me with that jerkbait.
Yeah, but
Jerkbaits do it.
not for nothing. I started the business here and I met some buddies. You know them. My buddies
Oh,
Jay
yeah.
and like we fished a lot
Jerkbait
together.
gurus.
So obviously, like I kind of like you cater your style a little. I can do the same thing with the jerkbait all day at certain times of the year because I just know those guys, like those guys are kind of like, I've been beaten into it. So I just know. And like, when it just magically seems to get bit more. You know what I mean? Like, but so that's why, like, dude, I just, I just don't
You
put
should
this
just make a Beast Coast jerkbait then. How about that? Figure it out.
Make a Beast Coast jerkbait.
Oh, I want to make hard baits. Believe me, like I've got the capacity to make one of my partner factories. We've already played around with a couple things just to kind of understand their process and molding. So again, when there's money on the table, I definitely see Beast Coast doing like kind of a core line of baits specifically for the Northeast style. Like there definitely won't be the funding to do a full lineup of traditional hard baits, but I 100% want to do kind of the core northern style hard baits that are required. I guess you could 5 models initially, but I would say that's like 2-3 year plan if I'm being realistic.
Yeah. Hey, as long as it's in the plan, man, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
I'd buy the hell out of them.
Another jerkbait angler, by the way, very experienced, knows his shit. That would be very happy to test them. Don't ask me. I suck at it. But however, My associate to my right, he's very good at it. He could probably stand toe to toe with the Jays.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll want to do a little fish off, man. We'll do it. You guys
I would
can
love
get
to do
down
that. I
with
think
your
it'd be a
boat.
blast. I just
Oh,
gotta
dude,
watch him
maybe
catch one fish and I'll have it.
Dude, if I had to go in on that, I'd be standing there like Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons in the background, like, I'm helping.
Oh my God.
I got one 12-inch fish.
I'll be like the guy from freaking
You guys
Family
are
Guy.
gonna make me
Stroke,
lose my
stroke,
thought. We should
stroke.
put together. Oh my God, I don't even know what the fuck is so funny.
What you just said, I'd be like the guy from Family Guy. Stroke. Because I'm still dog shit at fishing jerkbaits, dude. I try. I've had some really good days, but it's like maybe 10% of the total times I fish a jerkbait.
Yeah, but
I'm
that's it.
bad at it.
Yeah, but you guys go out and smoke me and smoke everybody on hair jigs. Like, it's just a style thing, and let's face it. Yeah, sometimes the fish are in a mood, but
I've never caught a
yeah,
fish on a hair
these
jig.
dude, I'm working on it. We'll have a hair jig, by the way, for this fall. A tungsten compound hair jig. So that's 100% happening.
Okay, I'm.
But I digress. My point is just we should do a little friendly tournament. You know, I want to get something the springtime and fund a nice purse. And look, I just like me local community that fish. So I'm sure guys will come out and smoke my ass on a hair jig, and that's fine. I don't even care. But I do want to maybe we'll get together, and you guys can come down, film the event. Like, it'll be cool. And then you can
Yeah, that'd be a blast.
You guys can see if you can beat us up with the jerkbait.
Buddy, I'm gonna need you to step up.
See what I can do.
Anyways,
I'm gonna have a jig right behind it though.
So, all right, I have a ton of questions I want to ask you about everything you've already done in the past, but at this point, it's almost 9 o'clock. Buddy, let's see those new baits. I want to see them in detail. So the only thing I will say, your audio has been coming through perfect this whole time, but your video feed has been like a little choppy. So if you're gonna hold up a bait, hold her steady for extended periods of time so people can get a chance to see it.
I'm gonna hold the bait and then I'll talk and just like leave it there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then and as well, for anybody that's watching this as it goes live on other platforms, because that is happening very soon, like Spotify, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you're curious about what it is he's showing off, go to Instagram.com/East Coast Fishing, and you'll be able to see. He's already posted a handful of pictures of all these new baits. You can see all the detailed pictures there. But otherwise, for the live crowd, let's see it.
I'm just gonna grab these things from right around the. Actually, I don't even have to go around the. I got the trade show stash right here. Second.
He ran away.
Where'd he go?
I see his booty in the background.
Nice butt, bro.
Right? You been doing squats there, champ?
Feels like in a bathing suit in the hot tub.
Right? Gonna get out, but look at that cake.
This is exactly where I parked my car.
I wish I could post gifts to the chat. I'd post that like that 18-wheeler going by where it says, Jesus Christ. Good times. Great times, in fact.
Amacrawl, and I can't find it.
Ooh, I really want to see that. All right, let me go back to the chat while you're doing that. Who am I missing? Will Derek have tongue sent the show? Yes, Brendan, absolutely.
Of course he will.
Sean, don't forget to repack your trade so stuff after you take it out. Don't want to forget anything for the show. I'll make sure to remind him though. Jason Christie Fishing, by the way, hey buddy.
Hey.
Make a soft plastics crank jerkbait where you could change the body to using the same mount. That would be amazing. I like it.
Yeah, that sounds actually pretty freaking sweet.
Solange P score. I drag my jig for 5 to 10 minutes for one cast. It's painful. It pays off. That's in relation to his previous comment where he said he caught a 7.82 large East Coast flipping jig in 36-degree water in this past March. I have said it 1,000 times. Solange P Screw, Kyle, our friend, him and I have been on the same page for a long time. He's been on that page longer than I have. Jig, a skirted jig.
Black and blue.
Works.
In very cold water.
Ice out to ice in. If you're not fishing a jig, you are missing out.
Caught me my PB.
caught?
Twice.
I can't say
Actually,
that now.
no, more than twice.
Yeah, more than twice.
7 times in the last year.
Funny,
Well, you count smallies?
Smallies, yeah.
Yeah, if I count smallies, it's caught me my PBs. But for largies, it's caught me a lot of big fish.
Caught me my largemouth PB, black and blue jig.
Oh, it's funny. I'm gonna give you shit again. I caught the second biggest largemouth I caught all season. 5.15 pounds. I caught on the Beast Coast open water sniper jig.
Mhm.
Andrew was supposed to make that video.
Which one?
Oh, you got video of it?
The one with Eric.
That was the biggest fish this year. And what about the
I
one
think it
down
was-
in Mass?
It was my second biggest largemouth of the year. The one I caught down in Mass was 5.19 or something like that, I think. But the one I caught up here in New Hampshire was like 5.15. This is a really bad year for me for like 5+ pound pounders. Not gonna lie. Like overall, like quality was
I
pretty
got
good,
2.
but for like big fish, this is not a good season.
Well, I
for
caught
me.
2 5-pound largies. I don't know how many little 5-pound smallies I got this year. 3?
Deuce.
I caught 2 in one day.
Did you catch a third? I think you only got those 2 5s. It was that one day. We had a couple other days where we caught multiple 4s.
I was all 4, the high 4s. Never
Yeah,
mind.
I think you had like a 4.8 something, a high 4.8.
488, 4. I don't fucking.
I
Whatever,
can't.
it doesn't matter. Hi, Derek.
We both caught.
We're back.
Hey, up
I
top,
don't
we
even
both
honestly know what
caught
you guys-
2 smallmouth over 5 pounds this year.
Yep, we did.
That's a damn good year for smallies. Sorry, what'd you say, Derek?
I just don't even. I don't even know what you guys are talking about at this point.
We're keeping it going while we're waiting for you.
Dude, I'm ready.
All right,
Go ahead.
have at it. Go ahead. Hang on.
So-
Sean Miller is messaging me. Says I sent you a question. Sean, I don't see the question. Ask it again. Anyway, go ahead, Derek. The floor is yours.
So this honestly is super exciting. We've worked on this for like a year. This is the Flippin' Delight. It's 3.8 inches. It's going to be kind of the new flagship flippin' bait. There's kind of the package, but more importantly,
Oh yeah.
so we got them nice clamshelled, so they don't get destroyed. Every bait's perfect, and our new scent formula is rank in a good fit.
Good.
So let me just pop one of these out. This is Okeechobee crawl. I don't know if you
Dude.
guys can see this,
I
but
can see it.
That is
That's
beautiful.
my juice right there.
I'm not even paying attention to this camera. Now I'm looking at our video feed over here. I don't care about you right now. I'm looking at this.
so
It's a nice ring you got there. I have
thanks,
to put
dude.
another one on that. I want that bait.
Yeah, so
We're gonna get to the show like Saturday morning. Everybody's coming and be like, Beast Coast, what the fuck? Where are all your baits going? And just running across the floor. The armful of all Derek's baits.
so I think like this is the key. You were asking earlier about like how product ideas and conception and stuff like that. So, I talk with a couple, guys pretty frequently about products and what's working and things like that. And there's always, until you get to a point where you think it's perfect, there's generally always a whole bunch of things that you can do differently. So if you look at this bait, so the top's got, I don't even know if you guys are able to see, but the top has basically full length, like basically a center line that's concave, and it runs all the way up to the nose of the bait. So it can accommodate a 3.0 or 5.0. A lot of guys like to use different hook
Huh.
sizes. So, and then if you turn it over on the back, we didn't concave, or rather kind of add like a center line in the middle because you want meat. Like that's a freaking flipping hook going in there. And when they're too
Right.
thin and there's already, kind of, an indent or this center line on that side, like we chose to just put a T guiding slit in there. So you've got like almost a full half inch of bait to hold the hook. But then when you kind
Hell
of
yeah.
expose it or to expose it, so there's like little things like that. Like if you look at how thick, and this was something that actually was not my idea. I actually bait a couple millimeters thinner back here at the ass end of it. But in talking to a lot of guys, and as I thought about it more, we decided to like really bulk up the rear end of this bait so that you can bury that hook in there and it doesn't, because that's almost always where you shred your baits. And then and then what happens is the hook protrudes up and your flipping weight or your worm weight starts chafing your line. So honestly, it's gonna provide such a better like flipping experience. Like, to put it, I don't really know how, but and this isn't the only bait that's got a real thick rear section. There are like 2 or 3 other flipping baits that have this like real thick rear section like that. So but again, like you do all those little things. Like we've got the claws, if you can see them. They've got basically a flange that
good.
it protrudes off the claw. And what that does is you can flip this thing on, I think we went down to as low as like a 1/4 ounce weight, and it will still have the super intentional like flap, just like it does if you were flipping its weight. And I honestly cannot wait to get tank tests, because all the new stuff, but like especially this bait, like people are gonna get it. Like you can flip this bait when they're want a reaction bit like bite, and you need to flip a 3/4 or an ounce, or you're fishing mats. But a lot of guys want to flip this around on like a 5/16 or a 3/8 or something like that when they're eating good and they're like actually coming and snatching it. So this bait will basically function perfectly. It'll flap constantly with a lightweight. So that's another really cool aspect thing.
What colors are those coming in?
Off the top of my head, I'm not
a lot.
Yeah, well, right off the bat, I think actually only 10 colors.
That's still a lot.
10?
That's still a lot.
Yeah, but then we should have 14 by the end of this, by fall.
Damn.
So
yeah, go ahead.
So that's the flip into light. Honestly, I'm
kind of in love with that thing.
Andrew, when you see these things, man, like they're 3.8, but they're as you can see, like they're thick, and that's intentional.
Right.
Like these for the Northeast, dude, like where we can catch smallies flipping, whether you're doing it on purpose or not. Like this bait is, I think, is just the perfect size. I'm
like you could throw that thing even on a Carolina rig and like
because the bait
smallies
moves,
deep.
Yeah, it moves super slow, so you could sea rig the thing. But
I will. I absolutely will.
At the show.
I'm definitely gonna pick some up.
So this is another bait that I'm sure Sean's gonna want to see. That's the Chatter Shad. So basically, this is like the most perfect chatterbait trailer that I think you guys will find. I'm not sure if you can see these.
I'm gonna need some of those for sure, dude. Yup.
It's hard to see. The colors aren't accurate.
You're gonna like this one.
But so if you look at these things, dude, so I think there's probably 2 camps when you're fishing. Like, a lot of guys want their chatterbait to come up easily. Like, they want the thing up because fish them around grass and stuff like that. And a lot of the baits out there are just so heavy and salted and dense. Like there's really only 4 baits that guys use for chatterbaits. And then there's other baits like a fluke that's too light at the ass end, and there's really not enough meat in the middle. So like
there's like kind of little weird like thing.
Yeah, I mean a fluke is great on a chatterbait. Try, and you don't want it to come up super easy. There's situations for a fluke. My point is just I think we made this perfectly. Look at it.
Good.
Yeah.
Chatterbait.
So we basically kept the profile as true to a bait fish as possible.
I like how slim it is.
And then the tail is a nice split tail. If you guys can see that. And so
it's like an actual split tail, yeah.
So it's ribbed here because you want a lot of flex. But the whole point of this bait is to let the chatterbait do the work. And when you do that, it's like phenomenal. Like literally, even unintentional like pauses in your retrieve, or like if you're, reeling your chatterbait and you just kind of go down, that's all it takes for this thing to start like almost kind of dancing, and these little appendages at the tail, they'll kick out on the pause. It's a really beautiful little bait, and I think that guys are going to be like stoked on this.
I can tell you right now, I already have a spot on a lake that I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna catch a lot of freaking fish with it.
Yeah.
Are we thinking of the same spot?
Same spot.
Damn right you are.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
that
Actually, there's 3 spots on that lake we can catch them there like that.
yes, you're absolutely right on that.
Boom, boom, and boom.
I may or may not have spent $250 recently, literally just on jackhammers.
well,
Okay.
so
I'm
this
ready
bait-
for spring, dude.
So you got 3 of them?
I got 4 of like 5 different colors of 1/2 ounce and 3/8 ounce. I got enough for the 2 of us. We're ready for spring, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But anyways,
Just waiting on
that's
those
like-
chatter trailers.
Yeah, and honestly, like there's a couple baits out there, I guess, that are really designed to be chatterbait trailers, but like this bait is for a chatterbait or jackhammer, bladed jig, but this literally is made for that. So I think people will notice that, and I honestly think this will become one of the top selling baits. Again, it's we didn't flange the tails. It's not meant to go. Meant to be a bait that does not weigh your chatterbait down or your jackhammer down. It's the perfect weight. It's the perfect material. Like it's literally beautifully designed for a jackhammer. So I think people are going to see that, and they're going to like it. And this is going to become a top seller. I think we have 8 colors, and that'll expand to 12. But beyond that, I mean, a chatterbait bite, like realistically, how many colors do you so I think we'll probably do 12 in this, but we'll have 8.
I need like 3 colors and I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like we have 12.
Well, now 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
4,
of
yeah,
one
okay.
specific color I bought for the bladed jig for white perch.
Dirt bag.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Wait, what is the next one? Sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, what'd you say? I think your audio cut out for the first time.
Can you hear me now?
I heard
I
heard
can hear you now.
dirtbag, and then it was like a long pause of silence.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
kind
you
of got
were
me
telling
all.
Andrew about some color that you had suggested he use, and I said, dirt bag.
No, dirtbag is already like our mainstay of colors, but like
Dirtbag has won us tournaments.
no, legit though. Like and,
legitimately.
no, but like specifically for like jig trailer colors, like one of the other things I really want to experiment a lot with more this year is like white perch patterns, because some of the things we learned this past spring.
Crappie, same thing.
Absolutely. Like those 2 colors, it's like I've always primarily been like yellow perch and bluegill, and that's been fine. That's like going after those, or just then black with blue flake, or just green pumpkin with a black flake. Like that's pretty much all I've ever needed. Like those 4 colors, even just black with blue flake and green pumpkin with black flake, like
Yeah.
you can do that, covers everything. If you really want to get crazy, you can expand off that. But for absolute bare minimum, that will still catch you fish from ice out to ice in New England, or the Northeast, and anywhere in the North. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, literally anywhere in the country. Like you can rely on those 2 colors all year long.
Oh yeah.
You'll catch fish. Then when you expand off of that for like certain windows of the year, depending upon what bait fish are moving up and when,
Right.
that's where it starts. That's where you get into the minutia of what you're doing. But like, I mean,
That's
really,
where those 12 colors come into play.
bingo.
It's funny.
And we will go through all 12 colors.
As I like just find the time to fish seriously more, and you're stupid if you're on the water and you're not just trying to, because that's just what it's all about. But I've honestly kind of like, I've gone from like 7 colors that I used to like really like down to like 3 in everything. And I know that's funny coming from like, a company that manufactures and markets stuff where more SKUs you can sell more, but like, I feel like unless you are really close to regional intricacies, you're pretty good with, 5 to 12 jig colors. I don't care who you are, but I'm not supposed to say that.
No, dude, no, but you're absolutely right. Like, beyond that, now you're getting into specialty colors that, I mean, let's be real, you can probably use dyes and markers and stuff to start honing in those finer details that you really don't need a mass-produced color to provide for you. At that point, if you're looking beyond 12 colors, 10 to 12 colors of your basic offerings, like, you should be customizing what you're doing. You should bunch out, you should break out the dyes, you should break out your markers, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just adding patterns.
Yeah.
So on the note of jigs, this is important. This is actually the final new item, which is really honestly very exciting because I want to actually on certain lakes this year. This is the compact swim jig. This is our compact swim.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've been dying to see this.
Yep.
So if you notice, the first and most important thing, just like on the Gorilla swim jig, is literally like the biggest 3D eye possible.
Hell yeah.
Dude. Kidding me?
So if you look at this thing, it's got the biggest eye that we could actually fit while still maintaining balance.
I was gonna say, it's like there's like a hair width of material above and below it. There's like nothing left.
Mean, if you can look at this, you can see that we basically we designed the 3D element of the eye into the curve of the head. So it was honestly like it's just a jig, but this one was kind of a pain in the ass to get, if I'm being honest. It's got a custom 3.0 wide gap hook.
Yes.
With that little, yes. So this whole jig, this jig is smaller than the little Magnum. It's a little swim jig for little grub style trailers, 3.5 inch swim bait, stuff like that. A lot of guys have requested this from us for the past 2. So this one I'm actually like really excited. So we've got cases on cases. I'm so excited to have these things.
Dude,
to be honest,
I've
been like,
those are nice. They look awesome.
Shipment delivered and released for like 2 weeks now. So these all just got checked in over like the past literally 2 hours. So so that's a working man.
So pretty much right before we started talking.
Yeah, like literally I was still here. My guy left and it was just me just shelving shit, which is what I'm going to do after, probably, to be honest. So, but yeah, dude, this little guy right here, if you look at how thin that head is, it will literally swim through anything and you can keep it up high. So, with the short shank hook in there, it's a super small little compact package. You can totally control where you want it to go. Like when you're throwing it around, whatever you're throwing it around, whether it's vegetation or lay downs. I mean, it's a package. And ironically enough, Missile Baits just came out with a compact or mini swim jig. Obviously, this thing has been in the works for a year, so we didn't copy that at all. But it's interesting.
Yep, right.
My point is more so just to show that, like, it's interesting that who's super connected to the whole industry just came out with this, and so did we, and I'm pretty stoked on ours. So I think
I'm pretty stoked on that thing too.
So
what weights do you offer in that?
So it's again,
pretty sure I didn't hear you say it.
No, I didn't. A 1/4 ounce and a 5/16.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I have had, and I'm going to share a little secret with people first.
Just want to say thanks, Jason, for coming in, watching.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jason. I hit you in the chat too, but buddy, greatly appreciate you stopping in. We had Jason Christie in the chat.
As in Jason Christie or your buddy?
Yeah.
No,
No, the Jason Christie.
the Jason Christie.
Sweet.
I'll let people know a little secret. One of the things I've done really, really well on, like early spring, maybe not immediate ice out, but like as soon as the water temp busts into like the low 40s, throwing a really light swim jig with a 4 to 5 inch swim bait has been killer up in the shallows. Like that first weekend you're out there, first couple days you're out there, and you notice that those fish have moved up shallow, especially over like all the dead lily pad beds. You know, like all the stalks are dead. They're lied down. They look like dog shit because they're all covered in like, you know, like just a basically brown gunk.
Yeah, that nasty stuff.
Yeah, as they've been dead, like, you know, throughout the whole, you know, fall and winter and now into early spring. Those bass move up and they love hanging in that shit in those first or early like season warm days. And throwing a swim jig like that, even with a 5-inch swim bait on the back of it, I have had some absolutely magical days, and that bite lasts for like a month. So it's not like a narrow window you're truly like trying to chase, like, okay, I've got like a 2 to 3 degree window where they're hitting it. No, dude, you've got like a 10+ degree window. If they're up shallow and they're hanging in that dead stuff, like something like that, I'm already thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna throw the shit out of that thing. I'm gonna hammer them.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I'll throw this thing all the way up. Like, I mean, I'm honestly looking forward to throwing this thing on a couple lakes, like, you know, when they get up late pre-spawn and they're, you know, ready to pop, and a lot of them are up by, you know, certain lakes that don't have, there's rock and deep shore. Like, I'm pretty stoked to actually situations like that all the way up, you know, mostly honestly in like the late, you know, pre-spawn. I didn't do that enough this past year. Honestly, I didn't really do it enough the past couple years, but I want to do that more. I think it could be an interesting change up depending on their mood.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That eye though, dude. That's gonna get it done. Like seriously,
yeah, it is.
That's huge.
Hold up, Cam Yates in the chat just said, "I know a place I should throw that in the spring." Cam, are you and I thinking about the same place where I caught my PB?
I know exactly what you're thinking.
I think him and I are thinking the same thing. Sorry, what were you about to say, Derek?
No, I was asking Andrew if he's talking about the eyes on the swim jigs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's important, man.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I use a specific chatterbait, and it is chatterbait.
I know what you're talking about.
And it has huge eyes on it, and that thing gets absolutely demolished. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to use that swim jig.
Yeah, because there's some days where that skirt makes, like, just having that bulk of the profile of the presentation is the difference.
Oh yeah.
Like, literally everything else could be the same, but skirt versus no skirt is the difference between no bites and fucking killing it for the day.
Right.
But as far as eyes, like, this is actually a philosophy I and a lot of people do. If you talk to people, like, big eyes on a swim jig, like, think about it. What are, if you got a predatory fish and there's bait swimming by, what are the things that you cannot argue that fish sees? We don't necessarily understand about how they perceive color. They're going to see a profile and they're going to see a big eye, because you can Google it if you want. And it's not rocket science. I mean, any type of bait fish, their eye is always going to pop. And that's all that, like, if you're throwing a swim jig, a movie style bait, I just feel like, you know, especially in a clear water situation, and maybe they're finicky. Like, I feel like in a swim jig specifically, I feel like I just completely believe that it is a thing. I know that.
I think it is too. I mean, it's got to focus on something.
Yeah, I mean,
and if its eye is the biggest part that it's going to be sitting there staring at, which it is on that bait, it's going to see it. It's going to focus on that.
I mean,
a striking point.
It might just be a comfort thing, you know. Like, it's just one of those weird things that I believe. I know a lot of other guys believe in it too, so it's logical. But anyways, so those are 3 new items.
Oh yeah, man. So one of the questions that came up that we didn't get to touch upon: what are you looking at for? What quantities are they selling in, and what's your price point for them on all these? If you have that already hammered out, if not, you're not ready yet.
Yeah, of course.
Totally understandable.
So the working man swim jigs, honestly, at the show, everything is just going to be $5. That's just how we're
Hell
going to
yeah.
roll. And that's basically in the case.
It's a good
Excuse
deal
me.
for everybody.
In the case, so in the case of like the soft plastics, that's actually going to be what they retail for. The working man swim jig, that's going to be about a 8%, 9% discount versus what they'll retail for through our site and a couple, our independent retailers. And then I think I don't know how many people are on here, but a lot of people ask Magnum, which is our little tungsten flipping jig. We just got a ton of those in, and those are actually going to sell for $5 under retail by a good. So we're not really going to advertise it because I don't love to do it because I know that some of our smaller retailers want those immediately, and we're still going to get stuff out to them immediately. But I think it's a nice thing to do for customers just to discount that particular item. I know a lot of guys up here love that bait, so that's the deal.
Dude, yeah.
We killed it on the little Magnum this year. It was insane how good of a year we had on that jig.
Yeah, a lot of it's a good jig. That's a good northern flipping jig.
No, that's not it.
I have one out. It's right here.
Oh yeah, dude, this thing.
Especially Champlain, dude. That thing really shined on Champlain for me.
Yeah, we got new packaging. Hold on a second.
Nice. All right, so with that, and it's getting kind of late. I want to still rifle through some questions here. One of the questions we had from Sean Miller, this was specifically for you, Derek. I'll wait for you to come back for a second here. As you're pulling out things, I want to see this new packaging for that bait.
I know.
But I'm actually really curious to see what Derek's answer is going to be for this.
If you're a dude, you might get a kick out of it.
What, the packaging?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
that's
I can't wait till John sees this.
It's perfect for him.
It's perfect for me.
Oh, yeah,
That's
right.
what I call it. Well, Mag is small but mighty.
That's right.
Packs a punch.
Damn.
Kicked out too.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Chrissy.
There's nothing better than self-deprecating humor. Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. I'm stoked for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so questions we had. Sean Miller, this was specific for you, Derek. If you could only use one Beast Coast bait, what would it be?
I don't know, man. Well,
You gotta pick one.
well,
Dirtbag hustler.
I mean, honestly, I love to flip. Like, obviously, I think and having tested this thing for like past 8 months, I think the Flippin' Delight, this new bait, our new flipping bait is. I mean, if I had to pick one thing to go fish a lake like all day, and I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be like, I would never do this in 55 degrees or whatever. But if I had to pick one that I really pick apart stuff, I think I'd probably just peg one of those on a 1/2 or a 3/4 ounce, and just flip my way around or the lake.
I mean, honestly, yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
When I go out, just flip everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally everything.
Yeah,
I can't wait to take my hands on the baits.
That pays off.
Oh yeah,
sure does.
Big time.
Yep. So many people. Totally different discussion, but dude, I've run into so many people. Like, you need to, like, especially on certain lakes, I think you just got to keep doing it. Like, I don't know if it's expectation that there should be more bites or ADD kicking in, which I have, but I can do.
I was told that I have it.
I can flip, just all day, and because it's coming, like it's coming. So just keep doing it.
You're gonna get bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
Dude,
anyway,
have you been up to Champlain at all to do like the epic like grass mat punching?
You're coming with us if you
honestly,
haven't.
Years ago, I went up with J&J. Sorry, my throat's so dry.
Oh, I know. I hear that. I need another beer or water. Bad.
I think it's still super low, but yeah, it was a blast. I mean, I had more fun there when we smashed them on a jerkbait in, I forget when it was. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool lake, but I just need to fish more this year. The boat is outside of the shop right now, actually, restored. So I'm freaking pumped. I cannot wait.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you got your whole motor issue and wiring and everything sorted out, right? So she's ready to go?
Yeah, dude, believe it or not, Jay is basically like a mechanical engineer, actually an engineer job title. But he used to wire server rooms, and he was like, dude, I'm very comfortable like doing that. Dude, he rewired my boat, and the guy that owns was like, who did that? I was like, my buddy did it. And it's fucking impressive. So yeah, the guy that owns my whole building and the marina, he actually did the kind of engine troubleshooting since it was dropped off of a forklift, as you know.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
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 I forgot about that.
So after my Mint 200 EFI with like 100 hours on it was struck by lightning, my replacement 25 was dropped off of a forklift. So that's what I'm talking about for anybody listening. Yeah, so dude, the whole thing is basically almost restored. Now I just need to fuck up like enough money to have the woman that used Gambler upholstery rebuild my seat. And then it will be sick.
Nice, man.
But I don't love
Get out there.
Spending like $700 on upholstery. Like,
well,
you can get fucking factory seats for that, I think.
Yeah, close. It depends on where you get them from and like everything else, right? Like, so my dad and I co-owned.
I don't need an explanation. I just need to like swallow and be like,
yeah, you do.
Dude, it's crazy like how much that price goes up. Like my dad and I, we co-owned that old Ranger I had that I took out when I first met you and the Jays up here in New Hampshire. And he was like, you know what? I really want to get these seats redone. I'm going to call Ranger and like, let's see what the cost of just the bench seat. We'll start with that.
I bet
Take a guess
$2,500
at what the bench seat replacement was going to be for cost.
Upholstered, right?
I said 20.
No, like a brand new bench seat made, but for our 1994 Ranger. And it was going to have like a center step like console thing.
The bench sheet was cushioned, right? It had a cushion and an upholstery player. And it was a bench, right? Just a straight bench. There was not three different seats.
No, actually, even in the old one, it still had. It was like a bench, but it had like a step in the middle, like a fold up little compartment. It was like it wasn't fancy by any means, but at least it was some sort of like a little.
I'm gonna guess 1,300, 1,200.
I'm gonna say 2,500.
Derek's closer. It's $1,400 just for that middle bench. It would have been $2,000 if we include the back seat and the bike seat.
That would have been close.
It's probably something to do with the age, though, you know, not like a heavily.
Anyways, right. I mean, they would have. I mean, they have all the documentation, right, to be able to make it to spec, but with all the new like current grade materials, but they would have matched the boat. It would have been sick, but you know, $2,000 for new seats, like holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of
reupholstering for $700 doesn't sound so bad.
Right.
So guys,
anyway,
I hate to do this, but I honestly think I still need to like do like 40 minutes worth of work, and then I need to get up at 5 so that I can get this trailer loaded and make our way up to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Nope, dude.
Is there any other like stuff you want to ask or anything like that?
Chat, I have a couple of questions I can think of, but right now, everybody watching still, like now's the time. If you want to get in your last minute questions, hammer them in. You got like 30 seconds to rifle them out because I'll ask one and then I'll pick one from the chat to ask them as well. And then we'll wrap this up because I didn't realize it was 9:35. I'm sorry, buddy.
Already?
I was trying to keep this to like an hour and a half max. See, I know you're wicked busy, so we appreciate the time you've given us.
No, dude. Like honestly, if it weren't now and I had like water, I would keep talking. Like I
no, I hear that.
I love talking about this stuff, man. I'm just beaten down.
Dude, I know you're a busy man, and you're 10 times busier than me, and I'm beaten down just from my job, and then everything else to do with the channel.
I'm not crying poor me. I'm just fucking tired and busy.
No.
I
Oh yeah, no. I trust me. I absolutely get that.
Being a pussy.
I didn't say that. He did.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I can think of one question that I want to ask before I pick one from the chat. What is your favorite, and I'll put quote unquote non-traditional way that you have seen or that you personally prefer to fish one of your baits? And the reason I asked that is one thing that you had told me about was this, and it was just the Miyagi on a.
I used to do that a lot.
Dude, Miyagi on a naked blade bait, and this is a jackhammer, and I actually found that this swims like shit on a jackhammer, but on the OG Chatterbait, that's a money combo. This is too violent for your bait, I think. But if you put in the OG, like the cheap one, like the $5 Chatterbait, dude, I caught some good fish last spring doing that.
Jackhammer, the elites, it's the cadence and the material of that jack messes that deal up. But anything that's not a jackhammer, you know, and a lot of guys in the South do that, like 5-6 inch swim baits. They'll just get like a big old Chatterbait head, you know, a Chatterbait Elite, original Chatterbait.
Yeah.
They've got like 4 different models with different hooks and whatever. But the point is they're lead and they're bigger. And those ones fish those Miyagi swimmers and any of the bigger swimmers, you know, really well. But
really well.
I haven't done that. And but that's cool. That's a good fall. I remember I did that 2 years in a row. Giants, but if I had to say anything, honestly, I think it'd be like the magic flick. And this isn't even that crazy, but a lot of guys still don't do it. A magic flick on probably a Ned or a Demiki rig. Just everybody just goes to that as a drop shot.
My guy.
A lot of people, I don't do a lot of either of those things, but a lot of guys do, and you know, there's always messages. You know,
I'm telling you right now, I've thrown the magic flick on another form of bait that you make. It works phenomenal.
Yeah, the hustler or the sniper. Probably the sniper.
Just answer it. We got to give up a couple of secrets here and there.
Both.
Yeah.
So,
you know, the sniper, a lot of guys throw a Ned worm on the sniper jig. That's like that's definitely a low key thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
I know a guy, and you know him because I'm pretty sure you posted his pics, and he was fishing out there with Travis. No, not Travis Manson. He was fishing with somebody else. Or was
Travis helped design that jig. Travis honestly was like,
yeah.
Travis is kind of but we needed that product. Yeah.
Yeah. Specifically the flick on that open water sniper. One of my subscribers was out in Lake Ontario for like the last week that it was open, and he was throwing a flick. There was a little more involved for like how he was setting this up, but it was essentially a flick on an open water sniper, and that dude crushed it that week. He caught multiple 5s. Like I don't even know how many 5+ pound smallmouths, and several over 6 pounds on that setup.
Is that with a guide?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, I can't wait, honestly. I can't wait to get the hybrid call back in stock. They were supposed to be here for the show, which is such a bummer. But I just love, the little sniper with the marabou.
Dude, that thing.
Dude, we had a great time in the fall with this thing. We were killing it with that.
I know. I need to share
deep largies
videos. I just never have time to do anything besides post a picture. Like, dude, a couple of my other buddies on Champlain, Ben, and Justin,
we're on fire this fall with those all year.
Dude, you should see the content that we've got. Like, I just need to get into it. But, dude, like those guys, like, just so much. I can't wait to like be creative again after I unload all this stuff and like get all this shit off of my plate and off of my mind. Not the product, but just everything's in the business, you know? Like, I just can't wait to like sit down and like show people creatively what our products can do. And so you'll see a whole lot of it. Told you we're going to do a YouTube, and I'm sure your viewers will see you in our videos. So I'm excited to show people via video a lot more of the products this year. But take it full circle. That little sniper jig with the marabou is with just a super simple little trailer. I mean,
It's
cold
so
water,
easy.
finicky
Oh, yeah.
So
jig,
simple. This little thing.
yeah,
And
that's
it's
all
funny because
deal.
like it's even in the warmer water, like again, like that 5.15 pound largie I caught, which I know isn't like a giant fish by all means. It's still a great fish. Don't get me wrong. Anytime in New England you get 5+ pounds, it's a great fish.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like try and overplay it to sound like it's a fucking giant.
Yeah. Hey, it's a
Dude,
5
even
pound.
that thing, yeah, like late summer is when I caught that, and he was out in a grass patch. What was that? Like 25 feet deep? We were fishing that grass.
I think it was
Maybe
I
20.
think it was a little deeper than that.
So it's 25 to 30 feet.
Probably 25 to 30.
Yeah, and like, dude,
Yeah.
like, I'm watching my jig fall, and I saw it like jump, and I looked at Andrew, and Andrew's like, "You got to bite." And I'm going to reel up to it, and I'm like, I don't know. I think he just like tapped it, and I felt the tension. And as I'm about to set the hook, he dropped it, and you can see it like in the footage. I throw my hands. I'm like, "Oh, son of a fucking bitch! I lost that fish." And I turn around, and I put tension on it. Oh, thunk, and I'm, yeah.
That's so cool,
And
man. We
dude,
could all be that hungry.
and like, and to expand on that for the cold water, I had a subscriber reach out to me. I won't tell location of the lake or anything, so I don't want to blow it up too much. But he specifically reached out to me after you dropped the sniper, right? And I've been posting the shit out of it. And he was like, "Dude, that jig literally won us a tourney. It was here in New Hampshire. I'll at least say that, on a lake that you would never think to go to for big smallmouth, and they had a 5.4 smallmouth. This lake has not been known for 5+ pound smallies for several years now. It used to be that, like, okay, yeah, you'd hear of like a dozen or so a
I know
year.
what you're talking about and where. Yep.
Yeah. But like now, because of the rock bass takeover and the lakes region in general, like, dude, they're hard to come by. This guy had a 5 something, like a 4. They had a Mondo bag, mixed bag, largest and smallies, all on the open water sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look,
Absolutely
I mean,
unreal day.
The reality is it's a compact football jig. But, you know,
Yep.
there's more to it. Our colors are obviously. But so, yeah, you can get bit on it. You know, you'll get bit on it. But the way we kept it simple, you know, our skirt colors are hand tied into a very, so it actually makes the skirts flare out a lot on that jig. I'm sure you've noticed when you're dragging that thing, it's like, that's intentional, you know, like, look at how thin that skirt hub is on that jig. That's because you want those, you know, you want those skirt fibers to be down in that crevice so that they kind of ball out. But yeah, man, it's a good little jig, and I know a lot of guys fish it, you know, all year. You can fish a football jig all year, but I just really like that marabou in there. Just if things are slow and just whatever, you're slinging something around because they're not eating something traditional and it's cold. I love that. I like marabou.
If you haven't seen it, if you don't know what it is.
And final point on that, because I want to get to this last question from the chat, and then we'll cut you loose. We had a 2-day tournament for the Berkshire Bass Fall Classic this fall, and I was on the first lake. Dude, we were getting our teeth kicked in on a lake that we've done very, very well on.
Oh yeah.
And then eventually, I ended up, what was it, 4.38 smallie on that.
Yep.
The Stealth Pumpkin hybrid open water finesse jig. Open water sniper, sorry. And then the next day we had a day on the Magic Flick. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. But
That's
Andrew,
awesome.
I'll let you read that last question from the Bass and Panda in the chat to Derek, and then we can cut him loose.
Bass Panda, hybrid finesse jig in 3/4 ounce or 1 ounce going to be available. I have to fish deep, clear water reservoir pressured fish in SoCal. So he wants to know if you have 3/4 to 1 ounce.
Yeah.
If it's going to be available.
So right now, the largest size that we have is a 1/2 ounce. And honestly, I don't think would go above 3/4 on that. I know that's annoying because, like, I know that especially in Western parts, you know, yeah, mostly Western, but not exclusively. A lot of guys need to fish, like, especially around like spots and stuff. But I don't think we do that anytime soon, just to be honest, you know? Flush.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
So other than that, everybody that's watched, Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Take
Yeah,
a moment.
thanks,
Couple
man.
things. One, if you haven't dropped a like on the stream yet, please do now. That would be greatly appreciated. If everybody that's watched the stream at this point, now that it's been, if you're watching this now, it's already live on YouTube. You missed it live. If you haven't yet, like drop a like, leave a comment, like those two things, and then sharing. Like those are the three biggest things that help drive growth for the channel. You guys have been killing it for us. It's made a huge impact on our growth lately. So for those that can do it or continue to do it, we greatly appreciate it. I cannot stress that enough. Thank you to our donators for the night. If you still want to, by all means, you don't have to do it during the stream. We accept them at any point. We are, still marching towards that next goal we're going to make for the investment in the channel. We still put every penny back into the channel. Not us, not the boat per se. Like it's equipment for the boat, but it's like filming equipment, So like we're getting there. I really want to hit that next goal. So anything you guys can do is always greatly appreciative. Down in the video description below, there is always a link to Beast Coast Fishing. It's been pinned there in the chat pretty much the entire stream. If you guys are looking for phenomenal jigs, and he has tons of tungsten ones. For those that are in lead-free states, hit him up. Tell him I sent you. I don't get a kickback for it. I just like getting credit that I sent you there. Makes me feel good. So otherwise, Derek.
Honestly,
what?
I love to hear from people when they hear from you guys because, like, we're all part of this region. You know what I mean? So, like, it's I hope they work for you. Like, that's like guys are catching big fish. Like it's awesome to know that they heard about it from just like a full circle deal.
Yeah, exactly. We said it how many times? Like, we don't talk about shit we don't believe in. And dude, I literally have 4 Plano 3700s and 2 Plano 3600s just with Beast Coast jigs. And has nothing to do with the sponsorship. It's 100% because those are the jigs I live and die by.
Because they work very well.
They work.
No, I know.
People
I know I make them.
The snow is they're still saying now it's down to 6 to 7 inches in Boxborough. Is Dan Kenny still on? Is Dan?
No, he hasn't been in here a little bit. He's been swamped, so I think he disappeared about an hour ago.
That would have made him happy because I know.
Yes, it would have. Yep. So other than that, last part for me before I turn over to Derek so he can tell you guys where to go. Thank you all for watching again. We greatly appreciate it. Again, check it out at beastcoastfishing.com. He'll be at the New England Fishing Expo in Boxborough, Mass. this weekend if you guys want to come down and check out a bunch of his product in person. Other than that, Derek, is there anything else you want to share before you bail?
No, man. Just, glad we got to chat. And anybody that's listening, chill, please do. It's a fun time. Otherwise, send us some pictures if you catch if you catch big bass on our. Like to see this stuff. So yeah, stay in touch.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Andrew, do your thing, buddy.
Did it. Oh. Just like every Wednesday. We'll see you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Have a good night, guys. Thanks, Derek, for coming in.
See you guys.
See you later.